Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Ken Kitts, President of the University of North Alabama, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty and staff of UNA, I welcome you to this, our fall commencement ceremony honoring bachelor's degree graduates of the College of Business. Please rise as we bow our heads for a moment of silence and give thanks for our many blessings this year and for these special graduates here today. Thank you and amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you. Thank you.
Please be seated. This ceremony represents a very special time for each graduate and his or her family and friends. To maintain the dignity of this distinctive occasion and out of respect for all of our graduates, we ask that you please silence cell phones now and remain seated until the ceremony has ended so that each graduate's name can be heard when announced. Commencement is a celebration of academic attainment, and to bring greetings to you from the academic community of the University of North Alabama, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Ross Alexander.
Thank you, President Kitts, and thank you for everything you do for UNA and our fine students. Congratulations, graduates. I too welcome and thank you for attending this ceremony. The faculty, staff, and I commend and applaud your momentous accomplishment. Graduates, in earning your baccalaureate degree, you join an elite group as only roughly 1/3 of all Americans possess a bachelor's degree. Perhaps more poignantly, as the overwhelming majority of you are from Alabama and will forge careers in Alabama, only roughly 1/4 of Alabamians possess a baccalaureate degree. Therefore, you are all very well positioned to excel in the workforce both now and in the future because of your UNA degree. I would argue, in fact, that in attaining your UNA degree, that you are better prepared than your peers who have graduated from other universities. You have all had a transformational student experience, the hallmark of a UNA education. Elements of a UNA transformational student experience include education abroad, study away, internships, undergraduate research, service learning, and volunteerism, among many others. Most of you undertook and completed multiple of these experiences during your studies. Your classroom education, coupled with these applied experiences, make you better prepared than most to enter the workforce, pursue graduate education, and accelerate your careers. Importantly, your UNA education and degree has prepared you to deal with change, challenges, and an ever-evolving economic marketplace. Recent trends and data indicate that most of you will have 4 or 5 different jobs before you turn 30 and several different careers during your working life. Your UNA degree and education will empower you to excel in this environment of constant change. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not tell you that we want you back as graduate students. At the appropriate time, please discover and enroll in one of our workforce-focused, flexible, and primarily online graduate degrees that can further accelerate your careers. Thank you, congratulations, and roar lines.
Thank you very much, Provost Alexander. I want to introduce now several people who are celebrating this special occasion with you and ask that these individuals stand when their names are called. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Starting with our stage party, Mr. Ron Patterson, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. State Representative Jamie Keel, our guest speaker, who will be formally introduced later in the program. Dr. Ross Alexander, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Greg Carnes, Dean of the College of Business. Dr. Mary Lee Gillespie, President of the UNA Alumni Association. And Dr. Jason Watson, President-elect of the Faculty Senate. Please join me in welcoming the stage party. I also want to recognize and thank Dr. Eric Kirkman, Director of the Kilby Laboratory School and Assistant Professor of Education, for providing the wonderful music for these ceremonies. Thank you, Dr. Kirkman. And now to our guest speaker. We are most honored to have with us today State Representative Jamie Keel, who was elected 2 years ago to his first term in the Alabama legislature. Representative Keel represents House District 18, which encompasses the western portions of Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin counties. Over 1,800 students currently enrolled at UNA, or 22% of our total student population, are from his district. And I should note that 27% of our fall graduates are from those counties I mentioned. So would any graduates, parents, or other guests from Lauderdale, Colbert, or Franklin counties please stand at this time to give Representative Keel a snapshot of how many of his constituents are with us today. Parents, guests, graduates from Lauderdale, Colbert, or Franklin counties. Pretty impressive, Representative Keel. Thank you very much. Representative Keel serves on the Ways and Means Education Committee that oversees Alabama's $8 billion education budget. With his wife and his parents all serving as educators and with 3 daughters in Alabama's public schools, education issues are among his top priorities. He's also a strong advocate for state and local economic development projects. And not only is Representative Keel a true friend and supporter of UNA, he is one of our own, having graduated from this university in 1997 with majors in management and marketing. Representative Keel, his wife Melissa, and their family make their home in Russellville, where he owns a business that serves the tri-state area. And we're very pleased today to have Mrs. Keel with us, seated with my wife Dina. Thank you very much for being here. Additional biographical details on Representative Keel are noted in your commencement program, and we are delighted that he could take time from his busy schedule to be with us today. Please join me in giving a warm University of North Alabama welcome home to alumnus and State Representative Jamie Keel.
Thank you, Dr. Kitts. Those were very kind words. I wrote them. And so I appreciate that. And Dr. Alexander, thank you both for having me here today. Dr. Kirkman, man, what a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. That was unbelievable. Thank you. Inspired me this evening. So graduates, I am one of you. I was a graduate of UNA in 1997, business school. I know what you've just come through. And I know that you have worked hard to get here today. And I know that you haven't got here by yourself. Your parents and husbands and wives and families and other support groups have helped you get here. And I know they're super proud of you. The wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon, said, "To everything there is a season, for everything under the heavens." And I believe he's right. For everything there is a season. And you've just come through a season. You think back through your education and how it's culminated in this day, this place where you're at right now. Graduation is an end to a season in a lot of ways. And so you think back all the hard work and now today, and you enter into another season. But I want you to think about seasons in a different way. You know, in the South, we're very familiar with seasons. We understand in the wintertime it's cold. It can get very cold. And in the summertime, it can get very hot. We may have 100 degrees in July and 0 degrees in the wintertime sometime. And so we understand seasons here to be that change in temperature or the change in daylight. We think about the seasons here that in the wintertime, we may only have 9 or 10 hours a day of daylight. In the summertime, we may have 14 or 15 hours a day. And so there are seasons that we think of like that. But that's not the case all over the world. In some places in the world, along the equator, the seasons are much different because the day is always the same. It's always about 12 hours of daylight per day and about 12 hours of night. And the temperature is always about the same because the way the earth tilts, we get cold and hot, but there it's always about the same. And so I want you to think about learning as a season at the equator and don't stop. So at the equator, the warm days never stop and the long days never stop. And I want to encourage you today to think of your education and your learning past today and learn from now on. Make it a season like it is at the equator. And so I encourage you today, to be a lifelong learner, to always be looking for wisdom and knowledge, whatever you do. Moving past this season of school, some of you are already working in your professional field, and some of you will be soon. I thought I'd hear an amen or a clap from someone in the higher part of the audience there when I said that. But yeah, so some of you will be moving into the professional workforce. Years ago, I adopted a slogan as my own, and it's really a simple slogan. It's only 4 words. And it's work hard, be nice. Work hard, be nice. And those 2 phrases, I've thought about those a lot. They make a good t-shirt, work hard, be nice. They make a good poster. There's a book by that name. People have used it before. But I took that little phrase and I in my own mind and in my own thought process, have developed that through the years, thinking about working hard and being nice. And Solomon again said, "I have seen there's nothing better than for a person to enjoy his work because that is his reward." And so the work hard part of that phrase is essential. Now, I have worked 12 and 14-hour days. I've worked all my adult life and before that, worked hard. But I'm not only talking about working long hours. I've worked 12, 14-hour days. I still work some of those sometimes. But beyond that, beyond working long hours and the type of drudgery that can have, working hard to me means more. It means setting goals. It means getting a plan. It means being persistent. It means not stopping. 4 years ago, I realized that there was an opportunity for me to do more than what I had done before, and that was to become a state representative. And when I began that process, I had never run for political office in my life, never been involved in that way. And I set goals. I actually developed a plan, and I hired somebody to help me do that. And that plan that we came up with was 25 pages long. And within that plan, I set goals. I set goals for the number of doors I was going to knock, the amount of money I needed to raise, and all the things that went with running this kind of race. And when I was in the middle of knocking those doors, and I knocked probably 5,000 doors during that time. Our team probably knocked 10,000. But I would be in the middle of that, hot, sweaty, wondering, what on earth am I doing here? How am I going to make this into an office, a political office? I would go back to that plan, and we had it well thought out. And when I would get to that spot, I would go back and look, this is where we're at. This is where we're going. These are our goals, and here's how we're going to get there. And that's what I did as part of my work hard strategy to get in political office. I want to encourage you to do that, to work hard, work long, work hard, put in the hours, but also to plan, have goals, and move forward that way. And not only should you work hard, but you should also be nice. Now, part of being nice is being kind, and we all know that. We understand that definition of being nice is to be kind to others. I've worked in retail for 30 years, and I've owned a retail business for 25 years. So I've worked with the public all of my adult life. I've never had a job that didn't work with the public. And so if you've ever worked with the public, and many of you will be business owners, you will find yourself working with the public if you do not already. What you'll find out is that kindness is rare, and that when you face someone who may not be as kind as you are, kindness can be a tool that you can use. Kindness puts people at ease. When people have issues, they have problems, you're gonna confront those. Kindness puts people at ease. As a matter of fact, it disarms people. I think it's so uncommon that people are shocked by it. And you can use that tool in your future, in your occupation going forward. Part of being nice is being grateful, showing gratitude every day. It can be a text. If you really want to shock somebody, make it a thank you card. I keep a box of thank you cards in my desk at work and in my desk in Montgomery. I keep a box of thank you cards. If you really want to show somebody that you appreciate them, use a thank you card. It seems outdated, but every time I receive one, I think that that person really took the time to invest in giving me a message past just a text or a passing thank you. Use thank you cards. For me, being nice is also giving. Now that can be giving of your time. It can be political office. It can be volunteering. But being nice to me is giving. And it means giving money. Now, my parents both graduated from UNA. My parents modeled giving to me growing up. My parents were both teachers, as Dr. Kitts referenced a few moments ago. And when my mom and dad first got married, my dad was a new teacher at Clements High School in Limestone County. They lived in Russell, still do, still live at the same place, same town. They only had one car, lived in a single-wide mobile home, had one car, and so Dad would leave for work in the morning, Mom would ride with him. They'd drive from Russell to Florence. He'd drop her off here, he'd drive to Clements, teach all day, and then come back here and pick her up after school, and then drive back home. That would seem like hard times. They were probably poor and we were probably poor and I just didn't know it. But one thing I saw through that, all the way through that time, and all the way through my childhood and now into adulthood, is my parents always gave. And they gave particularly to our church. No matter how little they made, they still gave. And as they became more successful, and both of them became teachers, and then my dad became an administrator and owned a business, they still gave throughout my life, modeled that for me, and I saw them flourish because of that. I have taken that same idea, that same upbringing, and given, and what I've found is the more I give, the more I make. The more I give, the more I get. Well, now you may be thinking, that sounds like he's got the chicken and the egg backwards. All I know is I give more, I receive more. And so let me encourage you to be a giver. Finally, let me say something about luck. I've never really believed in what's traditionally thought of as luck. I'm more prone to believe in providence and what the Bible says, a man's steps are established by the Lord. But there's a definition of luck that I do ascribe to. And a Roman philosopher said this: luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So I hope you'll work hard. I hope you'll get a plan. I hope you'll set goals. I hope you'll stick to that plan. And I hope you'll be kind. I hope you'll be nice. I hope you'll be grateful. I hope you'll be giving. So that when your opportunity comes along, you'll be the luckiest person in the world. Congratulations on your day today and completing your education. Roar Lions.
Thank you very much, Representative Keel, for those wonderful and inspiring remarks. It is my pleasure to again introduce Dr. Eric Kirkman for musical selection.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Dr. Kirkman. The Dean of the College of Business will now present candidates for the conferral of their respective degrees. Again, please remain seated until the ceremony is ended so that each graduate's name can be heard when announced. Would Dr. Greg Carnes please come forward?
As you are able, would candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Business please stand and remain standing? President Kitts, it is with great pleasure that I present these candidates to you for the conferral of their bachelor's degrees.
Through the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees for the University of North Alabama, I now bestow upon each of you your respective bachelor's degree. Please move the tassel from the right edge to the left edge of your cap. Congratulations. You may be seated. Graduates, with that, you are now alumni of the University of North Alabama. And in that regard, UNA Alumni Association President Dr. Mary Lee Gillespie will now come to the podium to extend greetings.
Congratulations, new alumni. I am so proud of each and every one of you. Thank you, Dr. Kitts, for allowing me to speak to them today. My name is Mary Lee Gillespie, and I was just in your seats 24 years ago with a cap and a gown on, bright-eyed and ready to conquer the world. And now I'm on this stage speaking to each of you, and it's kind of a surreal moment for me. So I am grateful, extremely humble, and I'm so proud that each of you are joining our alumni family. Now, I went on to receive my doctorate at UAB School of Dentistry, and I've been practicing for about 20 years in Muscle Shoals to being a dentist. So I'm going to start with a little dental joke. We don't have many, so just bear with me. What did the dentist receive when he graduated from school? A little plaque. I'm glad some of y'all got that. Sorry. Anywho, each of you are about to write a great story. The initial chapters of your education have now been complete, but never stop learning. Our university has given you a great opportunity to continue its great legacy. I pray that each of you make the most out of your education that you've worked so hard to achieve. Can I get an amen from all the family and parents? Amen. Please continue to stay connected to our beloved university. Hold on to your passion for UNA and support our university and our dreams of our leaders. Be another voice for President Kitts in his Project 208 and become a super fan for all of our Division I teams. As you begin your next season in life, I leave you with a quote from Mary McLeod Bethune, a great humanitarian. I leave you love. I leave you hope. I leave you a challenge of developing a confidence in one another. I leave you a thirst for education. I leave you respect for the use of power. I leave you faith. I leave you racial dignity. I leave you a desire to live harmoniously with your fellow man. I leave you responsibility to all of our young people. If I have left a legacy, it's my philosophy of living and serving. I think I've spent my life well. I pray now that my philosophy may be helpful to those who share in my vision of world peace, progress, brotherhood, and sisterhood, and love. Be so proud that you are a UNA alumni. Roar Lions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gillespie. So, graduates, we've all had our time in the spotlight, and now it's your time. And we welcome the opportunity to celebrate you individually down front upon receipt of your degree. Will the marshals please conduct the candidates to the platform?
Snejana Tuttle. Noah Stern. Casey Douglas Corbett. Joshua Tanner Watson. Jackson McRae Wedgeworth. Francesca Blake Lay. Dylan Mitchell Cooper. Un Chong Kim. Megan Coleman. Kim Dwayne Robinson. Macy Nicole Delano, summa cum laude. Molly Grayson Willoughby, cum laude. John Davis O'Neill, cum laude. Ashley Haygood Pitts, magna cum laude. Joshua Kai Hambrick. Chase Edward Wynn. Surya Partub Singh. Whitney Latonia Emerson. Sydney Claire Bennett, cum laude. Maurice Adaryl Elmore, Jr. Elise Harrell, magna cum laude. Joy Nicole Parker. Alyssa Luan Burt, cum laude. Nicholas Shedd. Andrew Wayne Folkerts. Danae Negron Fleming. Dustin Wayne Henson. Shaihao Mo. Presley Shay Powers. Jonathan Ray Hill. Cody B. Berry. Jalen M. Johnson. Abdul Wahab Ahmed Al-Jahani. Javante Daquan Alexander. Michael Andrew Worley. Austin Dakota Shook, summa cum laude. Payne A. Correll. Christopher Allen Michael. Mason Elijah Cantrell, summa cum laude. Ivy Nicole Melson. Jalen DeAndre Cosby. William Garrett McMurtry. Jillian Chantel McDaniel. Juan T. Drain Jr. Connor David Gresham. Mary Callaway Thomas. Evan Keith Shelton. Hunter Patterson. Spencer White. Madeline Marie Butler. Priscilla Beth Porter. Mason Tucker Cook. Paige Morgan Wilbanks, magna cum laude. Keely Anna Miller. Darian Elisa Burton. Joel D. Cox, cum laude. Matthew Christian Thime. Kevin Card Olson. Michael G. Zimmerman, magna cum laude. Adam Craig Terry. William T. Evans. Luke Rhodes Johnson, summa cum laude. Thomas Cole Mathis, magna cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Russell, magna cum laude. Lucas Matthew Owens. Bethany Jordan Bracken. Delilah Clarissa Howell. Ethan Blake Hopkins. Abdulaziz Fayez Al-Fayez.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me as we honor all these graduates with a well-deserved round of applause. Graduates, stand up and look at these people who love you and have supported you. Please be seated. Graduates, truly, we commend you for your hard work, personal sacrifices, and perseverance that have led you to the platform today to receive your degrees. We're proud of you, very proud of you. We're proud of all of our graduates at UNA. We're especially proud of you, members of the courageous COVID class of fall 2020. We don't worry about your perseverance. As you leave this university to make your mark in the world, I have but one request, and that is take UNA with you wherever you go. Carry this university, this wonderful, beautiful, historic, and important university. Carry it in your heart wherever you go. And years from now, when you meet fellow alumni from UNA, always remember to greet them with that hearty "Roar Lions," and know that we send our very best wishes with you. At this point, I'd like to thank Dr. Ross Alexander, Mr. Ron Patterson, Dr. Greg Carnes, and Dr. Jana Beaver for their assistance with today's program. We thank you all for being here to celebrate these graduates. And at this point, I will ask everyone to please rise for the playing of the alma mater.